All right, listen, I have something to say. I was just, over yonder, having to ponder and dealing with anxiety today. I was telling my doctor recently that I can't afford to get my hopes up because the higher my hopes get, the more pieces I have to pick up off the ground when they come crashing down. And today I have the opportunity to choose to feel hope. And I'm afraid to, because I don't want to feel stupid if the outcome I'm expecting isn't actually what's going on. And I'm trying really hard to create positive associations with stuff in my mind, train myself like a dog, I don't know, psychology. But every time I decide this is the time I'm gonna allow my hopes to get up to prove to myself that it's good and fine, it's every time I decide this time it's gonna go well, it doesn't. So what kind of BS is that when you're trying to train yourself? It's okay to not expect the worst because the worst didn't happen. Well, guess what? The worst keeps happening. And I feel like I can't afford to get my hopes up because I don't want to break anymore. But I also am starting to realize I can't afford not to get my hopes up because the only thing that will break me more than falling from a great height and putting myself back together is digging a grave and sitting in it and waiting, basically. And I feel like if I keep digging deeper and deeper, I'm not going to be able to crawl out and experience hope and joy when life has decided it's time for me to get a break, I guess. It's gonna be physically painful for me, but I think maybe that's just a wrinkle in my brain going, and changing direction. And though it's going to be physically painful, I'm going to force myself to believe that I have reason to hope. There is reason to hope until proven otherwise. When proven otherwise, I don't know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll burn that bridge when we get there, okay? It's really hard to accept that everything's gonna be fine when things aren't fine and things have a history of not being fine. But I'm really hoping that this is the one magical time that I hold on to hope and I get to experience what happens when it doesn't come crashing down. What happens to hopes? I don't know what happens when things go well, but I'd like to find out. So I'm gonna choose to believe that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's okay to celebrate. I have achieved things in my life, and I feel like I've been on a constant waiting game, and I'm tired of waiting. But I think maybe if I just wait a little longer, I don't know. Life moves very fast and very slow at the same time. And I'm gonna remember that no matter what happens, whether I get my hopes up or not, no matter how I choose to feel, the outcome is gonna be the outcome. The way I feel about it is not going to change anything. And for someone who has childhood religious trauma of, well, that happened to you because you were having this feeling and the boss wanted to make sure that you got back in line, so you fell down and hurt yourself because you were thinking negative thoughts about your mom. But I wasn't thinking negative thoughts about my mom. It's so interesting that when I was a kid, all of that stuff couldn't possibly be happening. And now as an adult, when I know that it's not possibly happening, I still can't break out of that. When I was a kid, the thoughts that I had and the attitude and feelings I was having would impact the outcome of things. But because it wasn't based on how I was actually feeling and thinking, I had no control over that. It was the perception of what my mother thought I was thinking and feeling, and then God would punish me. Now, as an adult, I have a hard time choosing to hope because I never got it right when I was a kid, and how am I supposed to get it right now? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna take all of that out. The way I think and feel will not impact the outcome, no matter what I was taught as a child. So I might as well allow myself to enjoy life. How? I don't know. I'm still learning. But if the outcome's gonna be the same, whether I'm hopeful or hopeless, I guess I'll try to float somewhere in the middle. I'll try to remain neutral. I don't know if any of this made any sense, but if you're having a hard time right now, we can choose hope together for each other. And thank you for choosing hope, because I want good things for you. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the Turtle Club for keeping this little channel afloat. And I'm gonna get out of here, go wash this makeup off my face, and enjoy my day in a hopeful state of mind. I think my phone's gonna die. All right, bye.